Well, it's Central Valley Business. I am your host, Steve Walling. My guest for this segment is Dominico Johnston. Welcome to the show. You are the author of a book that's just been out for a couple of months. It's called Enslaved by Consumption, How Frivolous Consumption Fueled by Debt is Leading to Your Voluntary Enslavement. Dominico, tell me about this.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Steve. And this book I wrote, I've been managing a website, themarketcapitalist.com, for better part of almost 10 years now.
Okay.
And it's an investment-driven website, but what I noticed is there's lots of people out there that want to get into investing, but you've got to walk before you, or you've got to crawl before you walk, right? Yeah. So I figured I needed to focus on something that dealt with personal finance. And that the area that I felt was at most need was not necessarily that, oh, you need to know how to figure out how to do a budget.
Right.
You need to know what philosophical principles you have to have in your mind in which is going to propel you to be able to save, to be able to control your spending, to be able to get your financial house in order.
Very
so
true.
That's where Enslaved by Consumption hit. And one day while walking around, it hit me as far as this isn't just about getting into debt and having problems. This is really enslaving yourself. So the gist of this book is that if you're going out there and you're frivolously spending, and if you're adding debt on top of that, you're enslaving yourself. You're compromising your future decisions and opportunities to the whims of today.
That's true. And to the vagaries of the market, whatever's going on out there. And, you know, your freedom to make choices, to even move around sometimes can be extremely reduced by the debt that you have.
Absolutely. You know, we just saw that in the Great Recession, right?
Yeah.
2007, you know, that period of time, you had a bunch of people experience this. Now, was the lesson learned? Maybe for some people it was, but not for everybody. And it's something that's generational because you always have new people coming in. You go to high school, you go to college, you enter the workforce. You have this perpetual cycle, and people need to be reminded of this, whether they've gotten the lesson or haven't gotten the lesson.
That's right.
It's a classic message, and it's something that every American or every citizen throughout the entire world needs to hear.
How do I get this book?
Two ways. You can actually go to themarketcapitalist.com.
Okay.
And you click on the link. It'll take you to Amazon, or you can go straight to Amazon. Type it in, type my name in. It's in hardcover, and it's also in electronic form, so you can read it on a Kindle, tablet, whatever type of device you have.
Take it with you wherever you go, so to speak.
Yes, it's very mobile.
For someone that is considering, you know, well, maybe not, someone that's looking at their life going, what am I going to do? Okay, that's your primary audience for this book. What is when I begin to open the book up, you obviously you're going to take them through some kind of a journey of self-discovery and stuff, right? How does this work?
So what I'm trying to set, the foundation here is trying to give some type of historical perspective as where we are today. Because there's this unquenchable thirst or this unquenchable need that people have for more things, more services, more goods.
But that's what society tells us we got to do, right?
That's exactly right. It does tell you that. But is it in your greatest interest? And that's where we go with it. The path that we go on is really, if I'm going to be, you know, I take it from an investing standpoint. If I'm going to be a successful investor, I have to know my investment philosophy, or I'm going to be essentially a feather in the wind, right?
True.
The same thing is for personal finance. You have to know where you stand. What are your goals? What long-term things do you want to have? You want to have a family, you want to have a car, you want to have a house, you want to send your kids to college. There's all these different things in life that we key on, and they're goals that we have that have a significant financial component tied to them. So if you want to get the traction, you got to have that goal in mind.
Okay, so you know, someone that's in that mix, so to speak, you know, they need that. But what about a young person that, you know, maybe they just got out of college, or maybe they're still in college, or, you know, thinking about going to college? Would this book, you know, would this be maybe possibly a good guideline for?
Absolutely, because for especially, you know, you're out of high school, you're just in college, the student loan crisis that's going on in the United States right now is huge. And for those, I want to say they're kids, but they're not really kids. They're young adults. They're young adults. They really need to have some type of grounding, because when they get into these contracts where they're going to have to pay who knows how much back after they get out of college, it has a significant impact to them.
And you know, Dominico, in today's world, this is a type of training that is not taught in schools. oftentimes it's not taught in homes. Matter of fact, a lot of homes may be targets that, should be reading this, and the kids grow up in it, so they have no tools to use.
Absolutely. And there's one, in society, it's kind of like, you don't talk about money, or it's rude to talk about money. Well, if you're not talking about it, then, Johnny goes out into the world, and guess what? Every shark or whoever's going to take advantage of him. So you have to be prepared, and this is what the book sets out to do.
Sounds like a great concept. Should be a wonderful book. Enslaved by Consumption, Dominico Johnston, thank you for being on the show. Once
Pleasure,
again,
Steve.
How do I get this book?
TheMarketCapitalist.com, Amazon.com. Either way, same result.
Good deal. All right, I highly recommend it. We'll see you when we come back.